Let me tell you the story of my life, the story of a sad gamer that has no games to play. It's a little bit of a drought right now. Nothing new coming out, so to no one's surprise, I got Deathloop just because there's nothing to play. And I wanted to see what it's like. And the game was interesting. I wanted to play a little bit more before I would cast an opinion on it. But then Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous comes out, and that game really has me hooked. I think it's one of the best RPGs that has come up in a long while. Brilliant story, amazing game. Unfortunately filled with bugs, but you know, that's another story. Still, like, I can't stop playing it, so I haven't touched Deathloop in a while. And then I see a 10 out of 10 from IGN. Really? I mean, don't get me wrong, the game isn't bad, but it's not good either. I would give it a 7. 6.5, now that I'm thinking about it. And they don't mention the biggest controversy, which is the DRM, that's making the game very difficult to play for a lot of people. If you don't have a high of the end state PC, you're going to have a bad time trying to play Deathloop. Not a single peep out of IGN. So this is a 10 out of 10 game, huh? It's a classic. It's a must play, right? Is it a 10 out of 10 like Gone Home, or is it a 10 out of 10 like Star Wars The Old Republic? Well, the answer is a 10 out of 10 like in between. Because again, I can't say it's a bad game, but you can't make the claim that it's a 10 out of 10 under no circumstance. And you gotta wonder, like, why is it? And then when you read the article, you realize what's up. You see, I'm also a political analyst on my main channel. I don't know how many guys of you follow me on my main channel. There's no big secret that I'm a little bit on the right-wing side of politics, a little bit more to the center-right. And every now and then I see a conservative in the United States and they have a hot take, and the left accuses him of being a racist. So the conservative goes, look, I can't be a racist because I'm married to a black woman. And then the leftist goes, no, see what you're doing, you're fetishizing. You're fetishizing her. It's a fetish. It's a fetish. A fetish. You're still a racist because you're fetishizing. This is what they're doing now. Like, unironically, the journalists, they're fetishizing this. But it's not the fact that it's an actual woman. Okay? It's not like a person that's married to a little human blood female. No, they're fetishizing a video game character. It's beyond pathetic. This is disgusting and disturbing. So, as long as you have a game that's a piece of shit and you just put a black character in it, the journalist will worship it. So if you're a video game developer and you want to get a 10 out of 10, just put the color palette on your characters black, and the video gamers just don't see anything else besides that. That's literally all they care about. And by the way, just to make it absolutely clear, they're pretending like this is something new. I mean, we're in 2021. It's beyond bizarre. I mean, Big Smokes didn't do anything. Are we going to pretend that GTA didn't happen? Are we going to pretend that in Neverwinter Nights? Hell, are we going to pretend that in Baldur's Gate you couldn't have a black character? Are we going to pretend that in Diablo 2 the Black Paladin doesn't exist? But yeah, like that's what they're pretending. They're pretending like this is something out of the ordinary. It's like so mind-blowing. I mean, every time they're doing this, they're erasing all the black characters that came before. It's pretty much what Disney does. Like, if you're unaware, every single time Disney releases a new movie, they claim is the first gay character. I mean, Disney probably had the first gay character 5 or 6 times by now. It's the same thing in the video gaming world as well. And all these articles saying, wow, video games became diverse. Motherfucker, when I was a kid, most of the games that came out weren't from America, they were from Japan. And they had very stereotypical representations, let's put it like that. But you know what, like, I'm starting to be convinced by these video game journalists. I'm starting to champion diversity. And because of that, I'm only going to buy games from Japan because I want to support Japanese people. I can't give money to Westerners anymore, I'm sorry. But this is surreal. Like, and by the way, like, people defending IGN into the forums. Beyond pathetic. It's like, oh, look, art is subjective. If you don't agree with them, that's fine. How is it subjective that when you have people pointing it out on the forum that they meet the minimum system requirements for the game and the game is unable to run? How is that subjective? How is it subjective that people can't play the game properly on their machine? How is it a 10 out of 10 game? How much money did this company give to the journalists? I gotta wonder, because I don't think that this is just like, oh, because it has black characters. Like, almost every game nowadays has black characters. Just try to name me a game that doesn't have black characters, which came out recently. And it has human beings, okay? So don't give me the one with the wombat. No, but seriously, like, now it makes sense why God of War Ragnarok shoved a black character in the game, even though it makes absolutely no sense. It's because the journalists, they masturbate over this shit. I mean, I generally don't get any other explanations, right? Because if you were to do the opposite, I mean, it's not if. Like, there was the opposite done. For example, in Aladdin, Princess Jasmine didn't have the correct heritage, according to some leftoids. The actress was part Indian, part English, so because of that, she couldn't fit the Agrabah heritage. Agrabah is a fictional city, in case you don't know, right? So people were fuming on the internet because of the bad choice of casting. But when they push a black character in a Norse mythological inspired game, where even if you were to have an Italian, it would cause a lot of dissonance and would break immersion. Now, that's fine. In fact, not only it's fine, you have one of the developers coming out and shaming the public for having the audacity to ask for an immersive world. By the way, like, for example, when they casted Christopher Judge as the voice of Kratos, I thought that was an amazing choice. Like, that's really great, but it doesn't break immersion, because, again, it's Kratos, but the voice makes sense. I mean, it's good. If I was the voice of Kratos, then you would say, well, holy shit, that loses immersion, because even though I'm white and Kratos is also white, if you were to hear my low-pitched voice coming from Kratos' mouth, you would just completely throw away the game. You would be like, what is this nonsense? Or maybe you would put it on mute, just enjoy the gameplay. So that's how many people feel. And there is a lack of empathy. Like, they literally don't understand how people feel about this. Like, it just breaks immersion. If I see a story about Shaka Zulu, I don't want Shaka Zulu to be German. Like, I don't want a German guy, blonde with blue eyes, to play Shaka Zulu. Is this too much to ask? Usually they will say, well, yes, but in the past, it was black people that were being played by white characters. I didn't live during those times, and if I did, I guarantee to you, I would have bitched and complained then as well. But yeah, it is what it is. So, do I need to say, don't trust video game reviewers? If you want to buy this game, if you want to buy Deathloop, I personally can't vouch for it, because I haven't played that much of it yet. But what I can tell you is that you need to have a really good PC to run it. This is given by the fact of what you see on the forums. And by the way, this is something else that's interesting. The term review bombing, which is what they claim when people don't like it, is pretty much when consumers don't like the game. So the reason you get review bombing in Deathloop isn't just because of the DRM, it's because literally the game runs poorly. I'm telling you this with a fan from you guys, which donated to me a 390 video card, and I'm still having problems running it properly. So yeah, be aware when you make this purchase. But then again, it's Steam, you can refund it if you want. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section.